How and why I lost 20 kilos? Well, let me answer two questions that I get a lot. Number one, are you sick? Well, no, at least not that I know. And the second question that I also get a lot is, can you lose weight just from skating? Yes and no. And I'll explain you a bit more about this after I tell you the reasons that make me want to go through this process to lose 20 kilos in a bit over 2 months. So over the past couple of years, I've said this quite often, and that is, I have two priorities in life, two really important things for me in life. And they are, number one, my family, and number two, skating. And I say this to everyone when I go to a job interview, when I speak with someone on the street, and we end up going and speaking a little bit about life or something. This is something that doesn't change, but this is also something that made me want to do something with my life. I don't know if this makes sense to you, but what was happening was I wasn't really feeling good with myself. In late April, early May, I was with 105 kilos, and that wasn't making me feel comfortable. Whenever I would skate, I was feeling slower. I had back pain. I made more than one video on this channel where I explain my problems with my back, and I also had some problems with my knees. Nothing really serious about my knees, but obviously being heavier would have a toll on my knees, and I was feeling it. I would feel it when I would skate. I would feel it when I would need to pick my family. Remember, my number one priority, I have 2 kids. When I would need to pick my kids to change them from one bed to the other at night, or when I need to hold them, or when I want to hold them, and I would feel it. I would really feel my back, and I'm feeling a lot better now. But anyway, also something that was happening that wasn't making me feel that good was obviously the way that I was looking. I would start seeing, like, in my back here on the sides, I had these big pillows. When I would skate, sometimes before jumping, the shirt would get like closer to my belly, and I would see something just jumping here. I don't like that. I don't know if anyone does, but I really didn't like it. And I ended up choosing to use baggier and baggier clothes, which I do like. I do love baggy clothes a lot, but I was going baggier and baggier, kind of like in a way to avoid showing that. And yeah, it wasn't good. Some of you that met me over the past couple of years, you may have heard me calling myself the no jumper, as someone who really doesn't like to jump or doesn't want to jump when it comes to skating. Well, that doesn't change. I'm not like someone that loves to do like big jumps or anything like that. But at least if I want to jump into a rail with 20 kilos less, I feel like I can do it. Not to the tallest rail like I've done a couple of years ago, but at least I can do something. At the end of the day, there are some things that I cannot change, and one of them is the damage that I've done in my body with over 40 years of skating, and a lot of this time without really caring that much about the body. So yeah, never too late. I'm 43, and I changed some things in my life, and that's what I'm talking about in this video. Now, the main thing is I wanted to lose weight, and I think it's important to mention that I have a degree in sports science, and I did work as a personal trainer for a little bit over 5 years. So I have an understanding about my body, and I kind of knew what I had to do, but still the first thing that I do was to search for help. And what I mean by searching for help, I needed someone to advise me with the way that I ate. So I found a nutritionist who helped me with a meal plan, and for the first month, They gave me some supplements and also some vitamins, and the whole goal with taking these vitamins or supplements was to allow me to keep my energy levels and to not feel like I was starving all the time, because at the end of the day I had to cut and I wasn't eating that well, and that's why I was the way that I was. That was one of the reasons I was the way that I was. And I ended up taking these supplements and vitamins to help me with this. But this is something that I've done for the first month, and after that first month I haven't done anything else other than food, eating right. And I will tell you what my meal plan was in a second. But I think what is important to understand about a meal plan when you're trying to reduce weight is that everybody has a metabolism, and that is the amount of calories that your body needs per day in order to function. And the way that we lose weight is by consuming less calories than the amount that your body needs. And because you're consuming less, your body needs to go through your reserves. And yeah, a fat person should have a lot of those reserves, and that's where my body was getting those calories, meaning that it was burning fat. So yeah, that's what you need to do. If you want to lose weight, you need to consume less calories than the amount that your body needs. But obviously this is just maths. Okay, so let me give you an example with numbers. Imagine if your body needs around 2,000 calories per day to function for your normal daily functions without any activity. Just if you're just like someone that doesn't do any activity, and you need around 2,000 calories. If you have a diet of 1,800 or 1,800 calories, well, there's a 200 calories deficit, and these 200 calories your body will need to get them from somewhere else. Usually you will get it from the fat that you have in your body, and there will be 200 calories that you would be burning. And if you do this on a daily basis, you would slowly start seeing results. But other than changing your meal plan to eat less calories, you can also accelerate your metabolism. And how do you accelerate your metabolism to burn more calories? Well, that's the second thing that I had to change in my life. That's by doing more activity. If you do more activity, your body will need more energy, more calories in order to function. So what I changed to get my body to burn more calories was, I was already a skater, so I started skating more than I was before. I tried to, when I skate, to also skate more like in the bowl, which is way more energy consuming. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I have like a new skate park in where I live, and dude, the bowl, when I skate the bowl, I actually did a couple tests on Strava with a watch, and you're sweating for like an hour or two that you're skating. And especially if you do sessions the way that I used to do, is it's basically solo sessions or me and a friend. You just go through, like, you're sweating all the time, and you look at your watch and you'll see like you're on the 150s, 160s heartbeats per minute, which is quite high. And for skating, I don't get that all the time. And then other than skating, I also started running. And you may be thinking, yeah, but I hate running. Well, so did I. And I had to find ways to start doing it. And let me tell you, like, obviously no one told me, oh, you need to go run. Like, I wanted to, because I know there would be something that would be hard on me. So I started by going out with like a podcast or with a YouTube, just the audio of a YouTube video. And I started by doing 4Ks really slow, and that would take me around 30 minutes. My goal was to run close to 30 minutes, and time went by and I kept on running a tiny bit faster, or going for a bit more distance. And just last week, it's been like 3 months now, I think three and a half months. And last week by myself, I ran the half marathon, which it's a big thing for me. Like 21 kilometers. I would never expect to run 21 kilometers, but I honestly started enjoying, and I started learning a bit more about running, and it's cool. It's something that I really enjoy to learn about this new activity, because I've been learning a lot from running, from the footwear to how the community works, and I think a lot of these things can be applied in skating, and I'm thinking about making some videos with some of the things that I've learned from running that can apply to skating, especially in terms of how you choose your skates, how they fit and all that, but I'll get into that in another video. Okay, and now to finalize this video, let me tell you how was my day during these 2 months, my meal plan and kind of like the activities and all that, so that you kind of like understand. This is obviously not something that you should be doing just like this. I would say if you have the possibility, try to look for a nutritionist or a personal trainer or someone that can help you with this. But I'm going to show you, or I'm going to tell you what I was doing throughout this time. So I work for a company that it's based in China, which is Flying Eagle Skates. And I usually wake up very early because I want to look into my emails and start doing stuff early in the morning while people are still at the office. So I usually wake up at 6, 6:15. I have my coffee and I start working on my couch in the living room. Then about an hour later, I would have 2 toasts, actually. 2 toasts with fresh cheese, and each toast with a slice of chicken ham. I would put some pepper just to give it a little bit more taste, and I would get my second coffee. I know, I drink too much coffee. But anyway, then I would start helping around the house to get my kids ready to school. I would take my kids to school, and around 9, I'll go for a run. About half an hour, as I told you, about the half an hour run. Around 10, I would be already ready to work from home, but before going to work, I would make just a quick egg, like a fried egg with a quarter avocado, and then I would go throughout the morning working from home usually, and yeah, that would go till lunch. Lunch would happen, I would say, between 12:30 and 1, and usually the lunch was something like this. Imagine a full plate where half of the plate would be lettuce or something green. Most of the times for me was lettuce, and the other half would be meat or fish with a maximum of 200 grams. There would be days that I had salmon, some days I had a burger, some other days I just had like tuna, just opened a can of tuna. But I tried to stick to under 200 grams of protein and the other half of the plate lettuce. Of course, you can play with whatever you add here, but at first it was quite boring, but that's how I could see the results too. Then mid-afternoon and right before going skating, because after that I would go back to work, and I would say around 3, I would pick my skates and I would just go to the skate park. On the way to the skate park, I'll stop at the supermarket. I'll buy like a yogurt, like one of those protein yogurts, and I'll just have that protein yogurt. Go skate, come back and pick my kids around, I would say like 6:30 p.m., 7. We would have dinner. Dinner would be very similar to what I had for lunch. So for dinner, I would be having like a alpha plate of lettuce. I wasn't eating tomato at first or carrot or any of that, just was green. It was green. Half of the plate was lettuce. The other half would be, again, maximum 200 grams of fish or meat. Yeah, and that was basically it. Obviously, throughout the day, I had to drink a lot of water, a minimum of 1.5 liters, which I drink a lot more than that, especially with the skating. And other than that, if I wanted to have some snacks. I was also allowed to have a couple of olives. I couldn't just fill my tummy with olives, but I could have like 3-4 olives, or I could have a slice or two of chicken ham. And because I'm really, really addicted to chocolate, I've asked if there would be any way to have chocolate in my meal plan, and the nutritionist allowed me to after lunch I also had a coffee, and after dinner I also have a coffee. I have coffee all day. And with the lunch coffee or with the dinner coffee, I would have like a square of black chocolate, like that dark chocolate. I usually get something in between 85% or 95% cocoa, I don't know how you say it. And that was it. So that was my meal plan and activities. I try to do these every single day. Obviously on weekends was a bit different, so I couldn't always skate and run, but I ended up changing some of these things through time, and right now I'm still doing the running, and I'm doing the running at night when everyone goes to bed. I put my headlamp, which I have one right here. I put it on my head, and here you go, boom. And I go for a run at night, and the reason for that is not just because it's summer right now, so it's not as hot when I go for a run, but also I've realized that I have better results when I go running before going to bed. It may sound weird, but like I go for a run, come back home, shower, and I go to bed. And my body, like the whole metabolism is still going, and it's burning throughout the night. So yeah, for my goals, it has been working, and I'm not planning to stop doing it. Like, of course, my meal plan has adjusted, and I still have my chocolate, and I now can have some more stuff. I can now have tomato. I don't know if you noticed that I was not having fruits, either dry fruits or regular fruits. I wasn't having fruits, and I'm still trying to eat not a lot of fruits, because we made a couple of tests with my weekly visits to the nutritionist, and we realized when we introduced fruits, we weren't getting as good results, because somehow my body doesn't deal with the sugar from the foods, with the sugar from the fruits as great. But it is what it is. Everybody is different, and again, I'm no one to tell you what to do or what not to do. I just wanted to share my experience with you guys. And for those of you asking if I was sick, no, I was not, or I am not, at least that I know. And to answer the second thing, can you lose weight solely from skating, which I said yes and no. Well, for you to lose weight just from skating, you need to kind of like skate a lot. Like, let's face it, skating is a good activity to burn calories, but a lot of the people that skates, they just go out for the fun of it, and they just do recreational skating and all that, and a lot of times they're not really burning more than if you're walking or anything. So yeah, it's gonna work, but if you really want to lose weight, if you really want to burn, you're gonna need to either do it more actively, and you should not substitute other activity that it's more intense for skating. Imagine if you're someone that goes for running and you run every day like an hour, and like you want to change from running 1 hour to 1 hour of skating. If you don't have a good level at skating, it's going to be hard for you to push that much. In the beginning, yes, you're going to be like all unstable and all that, like, and your body will be working to stabilize, and you'll feel like you're burning a lot. But after a little bit of time, if you don't have enough skill on the skates, you probably won't be able to burn as much as you would with running. Now, I'm not saying that skating is a bad activity for burning fat. In fact, I think it's a really good and complete activity because it doesn't have a lot of impact. It's not that bad for your knees, it's not that bad for your ankles, but there are some things that can be done within skating in order to work better, and this is something that I want to do in the next video. So if you want to watch that, make sure to subscribe. I know this is a bit of a different video, but this is something that I wanted to share with those of you that follow what I do. If you like it, good, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can give me a thumbs down, but let me know what you didn't like about this video so I can try to change on a different video in the future. And like I always say, just don't forget why we all started skating, and that is because it's fun. Cheers and see you soon.